Getting enough sleep after a mastectomy is a challenge. We're limited in positions because of surgery incisions as well as drains. But sleep is an important part of the recovery process, so it's worth trying to optimize it. This video covers 3 modified sleep positions that you can use in the first 2 to 3 weeks after your mastectomy. These are the positions that I cycled through after my double mastectomy. Hi, I'm Erica. I'm a breast cancer thriver and a chiropractor. Before getting into the positions to try, let's first talk about what positions to avoid. For obvious reasons, you won't be sleeping on your stomach for a while. Stomach sleeping isn't ideal for your neck anyway, so you may not want to rush back into this position even once you're given the go-ahead. You're typically going to avoid sleeping on your side for at least 2 weeks. You can talk to your surgeon on what their time preference is for waiting for this. I have my drains in for 6 days, but some women can have them in up to 2 weeks. So you're at least waiting until this time period's done to lie on your side. If you had a one-sided mastectomy, then you can sleep on the unaffected side. For those getting a 2-stage reconstruction where tissue expanders are exchanged for implants, sleep is not as much of an issue as compared to your mastectomy surgery. You don't usually have drains in after that exchange surgery, but it depends on the case. I was able to sleep on my side earlier after my exchange surgery. I would also speak with your surgeon to see if they would like you to wait a certain period of time. I did still try to sleep some of the time on my back after that exchange surgery. I find it's helpful for reducing neck and shoulder tension as compared to side sleeping. For those having autologous reconstruction, you can expect to have drains in after that surgery, just like your mastectomy. Because stomach sleeping and side sleeping are off the table after your mastectomy, this really only leaves your back to sleep on. So let's take a look at the 3 variations in positions. The first is simply lying on your back. This one's pretty obvious. It can be helpful for your low back to have a pillow under the knees, but it's not necessary if you feel comfortable just flat in this position. In terms of the pillow under your head, most people find that a thinner type of pillow works a little bit better. If you were side sleeping before, you probably had a much thicker pillow, and so when you're transitioning to being on your back, that thicker pillow will sometimes jut your head too far forwards, and that can feel uncomfortable on your neck. If you're watching this video before your mastectomy surgery, I go into much more detail on another video on how to transition to being a back sleeper. So I'll link that video in the description below. The second variation on back sleeping is being reclined in bed. You'll want to use a lot of pillows to make this more comfortable. If you have any of those large square type pillows, then these can work really well. I would put a few regular size pillows on the bottom as a base and then put those large square pillows on top. For variety, you can change the incline that you're leaning back just by how you're arranging the pillows. You can also get a large wedge pillow so you don't have to fiddle around with all these other pillows. Just remember, it would be a short time that you actually need this pillow, so you can see if it makes sense for you. Some women use an actual recliner chair if they already have that at home. That would be a great bonus if you do. I would try to alter the angle of the recliner throughout the night, just so you're not staying in one position the whole time. The third position is reclined and slightly on your side. For this variation, you can lean back on those same pillows that you had in the last example, but this time you're just ever so slightly rotating to the side. Remember, you wouldn't want to be rolled over all the way to the side because then you would be on your drains. I found this position gave me some comfort to feel like I was kind of lying on my side without fully lying on my side, and I was actually able to get a bit more sleep in this position. For me, this took quite a few adjustments to be able to get into that position each time, as it felt like there was still a tugging on the drains as I moved into the position, even though I wasn't actually lying on them. You could also try this variation lying flat on your back with your lower body slightly turned to the side. If these sleeping tips have been helpful to you so far, consider hitting that subscribe button. I'd like to try to share these tips with more women. Why can't you just sleep in the same position all night? You can, but changing position really helps to reduce some of the compensation type of pain that happens when we're in one position all the time. These aches and pains typically show up in the low back, mid back, neck, and shoulders. I found my mid back area the most stiff after my double mastectomy just with spending much more time than would be typical for me lying on my back. Changing up the sleep positions really did help to alleviate some of that. The key with sleep and changing positions is it helps to reduce that muscular tension and helps to hopefully get you a decent night's sleep, which will help with your recovery. Let me know in the comments below if there was anything that you found really helpful with sleep after your mastectomy. Just like you want to vary the positions that you're sleeping in, you also want to try to do the same thing during the day. This next video covers 4 resting positions that you can cycle in throughout the day. See you there.